Broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
Now aboard, all hands mega battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
Oh, it's good to be here on the 11th of December. We got a phenomenal show for you today, folks, and what we do every show, we have a big idea. No small ideas here on TrentoVision. A very big idea, and the big idea that we want to leave with you today. The end of the day, when the show's over at 4 o'clock East Coast time, we want to drive into your head that the Democrats are crashing and burning, and President Obama is leading the way. Don't you think so, my new guest host over here?
My new guest host.
My new guest
New
host.
guest host.
over
We need
here.
a new guest host.
New guest host.
Look who's here. Hi.
My word. We were wondering about
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All your fans were writing in, where's CJ? Where's CJ?
All the fan mail that you don't forward to
Yes,
me. He only sends me the bad ones, you know.
Yes, got an American flag in front of me.
There we go.
American.
There we go.
American.
Look at this.
327 days to
To
go to
what?
turn this bus around.
Oh, turn this bus around. If we turn it around, it's going this way with the taped up side. We want to turn it back
That way.
Yeah, we
There
want to
you
go
go.
the right way.
That's the right way. Correct. Stage right.
CJ, I lost your lower third. You haven't been here for such a long time.
You lost my lower
Yeah,
Remember how to
I got
spell her
it.
name?
Oh.
Remember how to spell it? There you go.
CJ.
Spell the
Yeah,
name
there you go.
correctly.
Oh, you wouldn't believe how many people get that wrong.
Really?
Oh my gosh. It's like 2 letters, people. You can't remember 2 letters?
No. In defense of the hoi polloi,
Right.
as you know, I do a lot of book signings. And
Right.
somebody says, my name is Joe.
Right.
I go, okay, how do you spell it? J-O-E? No. It's
J-O.
J-H-O-I, right? I said, well, my parents were hippies, you know. I mean, you never know how somebody spells their name. So when you
Right.
say CJ, I'm thinking it's C-E-E-J-A-Y, CJ.
Right.
You and what other
I thought it was S-C-A, like a mermaid. would
like a
be.
CJ. Like a
Okay.
CJ, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's like a
short for
water
what?
bird.
Like
Yeah, like a water bird.
It's short for what?
Cheryl Joy.
Cheryl Joy.
There you go.
Let's call her Cheryl
Cheryl
Joy.
Joy.
Cheryl Joy,
So
come
she-
home for supper.
Cheryl Joy.
Cheryl Joy, come here.
I think Cheryl Joy sounds, it sounds too...
Like a stripper's name.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. I think CJ sounds tougher. That's why.
CJ.
Yeah. Don't you think
CJ.
CJ sounds tougher than Cheryl Joy?
Yes. it
Yeah, I
does.
like
Yeah.
CJ. Oh, yeah, let's go.
I really thought it was for counter jihadist when I first met you.
Oh,
Did
that's
you?
good.
I had a dog named CJ once. Chuck Jr. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, I remember the Chuck Jr. stories.
Right.
You should write a collection of
I
Chuck
know,
Jr.
I know,
stories.
Yeah, but do that after the show, okay? Because
Okay,
we have
we have breaking news.
We have a limited amount of time. We
Nice
have-
to see you guys.
Very good to see you. Welcome back. We're going through a few little illnesses and things here and there, and you're healthy and nothing contagious, right? You know,
Well, I guess we'll find out
Okay,
soon.
we're going to find out. But we do. The show today is Democrats are crashing and burning. Barack is leading the way. He's totally, notwithstanding MSNBC's pitiful efforts to spin him flirting with that chick from Denmark. I mean, it's very simple. Michelle understood it. The way you want to understand things, folks, I'm going to show you this a little bit later. Look at what the women, how they perceive, particularly wives, what their husbands are doing. Barack's playing around with the blondes. He does like blondes. He dated
He
that
does.
blonde.
He
in
does
high
like
school.
blondes.
He is crashing in the polls, factually, but we're going to show you one paper in particular which says, oh, he's stabilized. his falling numbers have stabilized. Here's more proof that the Democrats are crashing and burning. The Obama administration has just hired John Podesta from a dinosaur from the Clinton days to come in and fix everything, but with no authority. How long do you think
Right.
that's going to work? We're going to show you that little story. And even if we go north from Washington, D.C., all the way up to the top of the country, up there, what's the top state?
Maine,
All right, what's one right below that to the left?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. If we go all the way up to New Hampshire to look for a democratic jewel of wisdom in terms of foreign policy and,
Right.
and Israel doctrine and Middle East understanding,
Authoritative
understanding.
I think I have a picture of her here.
I would go to a congresswoman
This one right
in
here.
New Hampshire. Here we go.
There she is. Yeah.
And what is her name?
What is her name again?
Ann Custer.
Ann Custer.
Custer-
Ann, C-U-S-T-E-R.
No, K, I
Ann,
think.
Ann Custer.
I think it's got a K in it.
It's
Yeah,
a K.
K-U-S-T-E-R.
It's Ann
K.
McLean Custer.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ann
authority.
Custer
She's authority.
is a congresswoman from the great state of New Hampshire. Weird state to start with, but that's okay. Some good people there. And a couple of days ago, she was doing a briefing. And I'll sketch it out. I think we have a special guest on the phone.
Yes, we do.
who was involved with this. Ann Custer was doing a briefing recently back. This summer, she went as a guest of AIPAC, American Israeli Political Action Committee.
Another authority on the Middle East.
Yeah, they're the big dog in the fight here. She was a guest of AIPAC, did a tour of Israel, and then AIPAC now is putting her out to brief people on doctrine, Israeli doctrine, foreign policy, national security, all that stuff. Well, when you get Act for America folks who want to do what the United West does, disrupt, disable, destroy the narrative of the left, the socialist, Marxist,
Right.
Obamaist left, then you get a funny thing that happened on the way to the forum. First, let's meet one of the key players in this drama. Who do we have on the phone? Susan?
We have on the phone Susan Cater.
Susan Cater from New Hampshire.
Hampshire.
Hi, Susan. You're with Tom and CJ and
Hi,
Damon
Susan.
and Mark and everybody else here.
How you doing, Susan?
Greetings. Greetings, everybody.
Hey.
Greetings. We know we only have you for a little while because you want to go cause more trouble in the Democrat Party. But briefly tell us, what was your role in what the folks are about to hear and see on our TrentoVision show 8 minutes after 3 o'clock on the 11th of December, 2013?
Okay. Well, I simply attended that event in Manchester, New Hampshire on the 25th, and I simply submitted a question asking if she was aware of House Resolution 36 and what was her position on that, and what was she going to do about Benghazi.
And just a quick primer on what House Resolution 36 is. It says, any intelligence known to the United States relating to the attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, any requests for additional security, actions are taken, a definitive timeline, and a few other things. But really, to get to the bottom of the Benghazi, what was going on. And this is a House resolution that she should have been aware of. Is that correct?
That is correct. There's at least 178 representatives already co-sponsoring that resolution.
Right.
So we have a resolution going through the House of Representatives, and she's a member of the House of Representatives, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And she just recently returned from Israel, studying the Middle East. And what was the context? What was the kind of meeting, and what was the title of it?
She was going over there, I think, just to for a look-see more than anything else. And by her own admission, she told us that she was just going over there to meet people, but it was a very restricted group of people that she was allowed to meet with, a very restricted area she was allowed to travel in. And I think it was just more or less a feel-good type of thing, in my opinion.
And
What was the name of the event that you went to that evening?
Right.
That was it was for the Jewish Federation, and it was just going to be a discussion that she was going to have about her a trip to Israel, and we were going to be allowed to ask questions about Israel and the Middle East afterwards. And we were to submit those on 3x5 cards, and they gathered those all up and
So this
gave
was-
them to her after the video was over, after she showed her slides of her trip.
Okay, you had a question?
Yes, Susan. Before the Q&A portion of the program, what was Representative Custer's overall impression of Israel and the U.S. relations with Israel?
That was a difficult thing to try to pinpoint because she was restricted in her ability to meet with other people. She did show us a lot of nice pictures, and she said it was very, very, I guess, it was comfortable for her because she was in a protected environment.
That makes no sense.
That makes absolutely no sense. I mean, this is not like traveling to the Soviet Union in the 1970s, people. She was restricted in her contact with other people while she was in Israel. In other words, there was an itinerary for the trip, and the people on the trip were taken to meet with this group, with this group, with this group, and there was little room in between these meetings for people to wander off on their own.
And she's with AIPAC. AIPAC takes the congressional delegations. Very sophisticated, very involved, and just the opposite of a
just
closed
the opposite,
trip. Just
exactly, because
totally
they
open.
have to be completely neutral. They have
yeah.
to be completely neutral here in the United States, supposedly, and neutral when they're in Israel, because they work with all governments.
Yeah, my guess is this lady's either a nitwit on the Middle East, on Israel, or doesn't like Israel. Maybe.
Well, yeah, because she's a Democrat, okay? Think back to the convention in 2012.
Oh.
Think of the Jerusalem
There ain't
platform.
no God
There's
anymore.
no Jerusalem in the
There's no
platform. There's no
Jerusalem.
God in the
Right.
platform. And here she is, clearly a left-leaning Democrat representing in New Hampshire, who can't bring herself to say publicly at an event at a Jewish federation that she supports Israel, and so does her party.
Did she say that by any
Never
chance?
mind the rest of the Middle East.
At any point did she say, we must stand with Israel?
Susan?
Well, the odd part was there was another question that came up. Another person had submitted a question asking if she supported Israel's right to exist with Jerusalem as its capital.
Right.
And she simply responded, well, if that's what the people there want.
I think they do.
We need to watch the video. We need to
Well,
watch the
we're
video.
building up.
for
We're
people.
building up to it. I
Wow.
think they do want to exist. Those people over there
Yeah,
just want
those,
to exist.
those people under a
what
nuclear
we're
threat
doing-
from Iran.
What we're doing at 13 minutes after 3 o'clock on the East Coast, folks, on the 11th of December, we have Susan Cantor, right? Cantor?
Cater.
Cater.
What is it?
Cater.
Read the
Cater.
screen.
Cater.
Read the screen.
C-A-T-E-R. Susan Cater from New Hampshire. She's a member of Act for America, and she went to this town hall meeting where Representative Ann Custer, was speaking, doing a briefing on her trip to Israel, or to the gulags of Russia, whatever. And you had to, it's one of these closed things. If I ever run for office, which I won't, and ever get elected, which I never would, and I do a town hall meeting, which I would do those.
Watch out, Louis Frankel.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
ever let me say, oh, you can't ask a question, you have to write them down.
Right.
I hate that. But you had to write the questions down at this town hall meeting. And Susan, who's on the phone with us, a member of Act for America, was briefed by her chapter leader, Harry, who said, let's get tough with some of these questions. So tell us the question you
Tough
wrote.
questions, yeah.
Yeah, the question you wrote down, and then we're going to show the video of her being the representative, Ann Custer, her reading your question, and then America, you got to watch and listen how this brilliant congresswoman answers Susan's question. Susan, tell us the gist of your question.
The gist of my question was, what is her take on House Resolution 36? What is her position on that? And how does she feel about Benghazi?
Okay, so
That's a tough
we have
question.
a resolution to do investigations at the Benghazi. Are you going to sign on to that? And what is your view on Benghazi? That's essentially what you asked her, written down in a question, correct?
Basically.
Okay.
Now this meeting was for trip to Israel and talking about Middle East foreign policy, correct?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's
Yep.
roll
All right.
tape. Listen
Roll tape.
carefully.
Here
We'll
we
play
go.
it once or twice.
Okay, first, can we please let me know your position on House Resolution 36 that will authorize the Select Committee to get to the bottom of Benghazi? I don't have, it's a Senate, I think, I don't think we have anything about that in the House. Yeah, and the rest of this is also in Benghazi. So,
Can you address Benghazi? What are you going to do about Benghazi? Why isn't Benghazi at the top of your issue?
well, I'm certainly not here to talk about it. We're here to talk about the Middle East.
That is the Middle East.
Libya is like right in the middle of the Middle East.
Benghazi is the Middle East.
That's Africa.
You don't want to get this, there are a lot of different ideas, a lot of different opinions here. The Congressman is nice enough to share a trip with Israel and answer questions on the topic and have a civil discussion. That's why we have the postcard. So we're going to stick to the format of answering questions that you given, rather than get into a discussion that goes awry.
Thank you.
Wow.
Hang on, everybody hang on. CJ has not seen that video. What are your first impressions, CJ?
Yeah.
Can I just tell
No, let her go, let her go.
Somebody.
I heard her mumbling while the thing was playing.
Somebody needs to give this congresswoman access to a map of the world. Map of the world.
Susan,
Yes.
taking notes, Susan?
Taking notes, Susan?
Congresswoman
Yeah.
map.
Congresswoman, map
Yeah,
of the world.
Congresswoman, map of world.
Check.
Benghazi, you know, I have to say, technically, not in the Middle East. Okay, North Africa, if you want to be a little bit more precise about it.
Oh, yes.
But
She understood that distinction.
But definitely related, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's a Middle East issue, of course.
Of course, it's a Middle East issue, and this congresswoman is on one of the energy subcommittees for the Department of Agriculture. So she ought to know something about where our energy comes from,
Yes.
as it relates to the subject of oil, which could have something to do with the country of Libya.
You don't even have to go that far.
You don't even have to go that far.
this woman sits on the House Committee for Veterans Affairs.
No.
Yeah, the Health Committee.
You're kidding me.
No, she's on the Veterans.
Well, first of all, well,
No, House
Veterans.
Committee on Veterans Affairs.
Yeah, but it's the
I wanna-
subcommittee on health.
That's
I
even
wanna,
worse.
I want to back up a little bit. When she says, what's your opinion on House Resolution 36? She goes, oh, isn't that a Senate bill? Like, hold on, you said House HR
Yeah, it's
36, House Resolution.
Well, you know what? I can't blame her for that. I'm gonna defend the congresswoman on that
What?
because there are hundreds of
No, you're missing my
No,
point.
Yeah, no.
That's
He's
not
got a
my
different point. I was going to say the same thing, but he's got a different point.
I'm saying House Resolution 36.
And she says, no, that's
It's a Senate resolution.
Yeah. Certainly, you can't know every number. Somebody has to say that's the one I'm.
Right,
right.
Okay. But the issue is she didn't even know the House and the Senate.
Resolution.
And when she
She's
went like
a total
this,
idiot.
when she went like this,
And she started to close her arms like this,
Yeah.
like
Well, here's the
deer in the
microphone.
headlights moment.
yeah, and her savior comes in from stage left,
Yeah.
and says, "Oh, let me help her," and she's there like. She looked like a little school kid.
She
Susan,
did.
what did
Yeah.
you think? You were there, Susan. First of all, let's give Susan a hand for
job.
writing up that
I
question.
have to say, that was really impressive because I noticed that Susan, like 3-4 times.
I don't think that was Susan who followed up asking
That
the
was one
question.
of the other women that I was sitting with, actually.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That
really?
was really good. I mean, that's
Susan
how real
wrote the question.
journalists
Yes.
should do it.
That was excellent. You guys made a great
Yeah,
team.
but-
And we talked
Yeah,
to
well,
Susan.
we're all involved with Back for America up here, and we are very grateful that you folks are showcasing this for us. But it was quite a stunning moment when she wouldn't respond, when she sat there or stood there with a deer in the headlights, as you say, that look, and just looking around like, somebody please help me, somebody please rescue me. I wasn't expecting this. And it was really kind of stunning.
It was really. And how many number of views now, Damon? When I first saw it the first, 3 days ago, it's like 36,000. Then overnight it jumped to like almost 200,000. What's it at now?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what it's at now. I looked at it last night. There was like 200 close, and I think on 275. I thought.
Wow.
Did you? Here's the key question: did you monetize it?
She didn't shoot it. So one of the other people shot it. But
I'm curious. How did all of you from Act for America get invited to this event? Because a lot of these events I notice from Jewish federations in particular are very
closed,
they're very restricted. The guests are handpicked to make sure that there's no troublemakers in the group and that it's a cream puff for the speaker, but this speaker didn't have an easy time of it. How'd you get in there?
Well, we got an invitation. Harry, our chapter leader, is friends with a number of people in Jewish organizations in the area, and he gets invitations to these events, and he sends them out to the members. And I just thought, well, I'm going to go. And I called at a reservation, and I said, is it all right if I come? Are you crowded or what? And she said, no, you can come. And I gave her my name, and I showed up, and that was it. They didn't frisk me. They didn't ask me any questions. They just let me in. I sat down, and that was that.
What about on your way out?
Nobody said anything to me. Nobody did anything to me, which I was kind of surprised. But I don't think you didn't put your names on the questions. You just gave them to the people that were there. You just handed them in.
Right.
Nobody asked me if it was my question, but it was like it was my question, but nobody said anything to me about it. Nobody tried to give me who struck John or give me a hard time about it.
Beautiful. All right,
did any people who weren't part of ACT approach you afterwards to say, wow, that was a good job?
No, nobody said anything to me as far as giving me a hard time. No, but the people that were with me that are involved either peripherally or come to meetings with Act for America, they were very pleased with that, and they were very stunned that she didn't know that Benghazi is technically, by federal considerations, part of the Middle East area, and that she was seemingly frightened by the question.
Oh my
gosh.
All right. Well, we got to move on. But Susan, thank you.
Wonderful.
I think
you, Susan.
it's Susan Cater and Ann Custer, right?
Correct.
So Cater owned Custer on this
right.
track.
Cater
good, Custer bad.
Cater owned Custer. And we spoke a little bit with Susan the other day. She says really her beginning at getting involved in activism. So you did a phenomenal job. We'll help you guys up there, Act for America. So kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos to Cater.
And condemnations to Custer. You are unfit to serve, ma'am. You cannot exist as a U.S. congressperson and be completely clueless on Benghazi, and at least don't have a phony baloney President Obama spin answer or Hillary make-believe answer. You can't stand there and be completely confused like you are. You're unfit to serve.
Tom,
in this
going to that level, that's, in my book, that's criminal negligence. It really is. To be that incompetent and be in the seat, that's reason for removal, in my opinion. I mean, it's criminally incompetent.
That's an example of where we're better off with people like our guest from yesterday instead of these dopes on the left.
Yeah, I don't know if it raises to the level of
hold on.
Criminal. Certainly professional malfeasance and
people are dying, Tom, because of her ignorance.
Yeah, I know. I
now, what part of the criminal part does that not make sense?
There's statutes that apply to that.
All right.
I mean,
Okay. Well, anyway, we can.
High crimes and misdemeanors. I don't know if it's risen to that level, but she's certainly incompetent. That's for sure on this issue.
It's criminally incompetent in my book. I'm sorry.
People are on that happy note. Go up there and defeat her, you New Hampshireans. How do you say it? New Hampshireans?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshireites?
New Hampshireites? How do you say that, Susan?
What would that be, Susan?
I think it's New Hampshireans.
New Hampshireans.
New Hampshireans? I like New Hampshireites.
I'm from Philadelphia. What do I know?
I knew she was from Philly. She's got that Philly twang.
All right, I got a test for her to see if she's from Philly. Okay. Say the word G-A-S, Susan.
G-A-S?
G-A-S. How do you pronounce
What
it?
is it?
How do you pronounce GAS? Like the stuff you put in your car. How do you pronounce gas? Gas. Okay, what is it?
No. That's not the test for a Philadelphia person.
What is it?
Here's
But
the
I think
test.
they use eyes and nobody else says that anywhere.
Oh, they do.
I'll give you the definitive test to see if she's really from Philadelphia. You ready, Susan?
Yeah?
I know what he's going to do.
Wait,
What?
I just
He about
said
sandwiches.
Pat's or Geno's?
Pats or Geno's?
Pat's or Geno's? Susan?
What's the test?
Pat's or Geno's?
Pat.
Okay. She's from Philadelphia.
You don't like that either?
I like them both.
Pat steak.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Good luck.
Great to meet
You
you.
take
it
care.
easy.
Good meeting
Bye-bye.
you. Hang in there.
Good job. Keep up the good
People
work.
from Philadelphia understand Pat's or
Okay, the
Geno's.
people who aren't from Philadelphia
No, we're not gonna
understand
tell you.
that too.
We're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Wasn't
But
gonna
I
tell
have
them.
to say, do you remember when we did the tour with the film, with the Breitbart film,
Yeah.
Hating Breitbart?
Hating
And
Breitbart.
Yeah. And
What is
where
all
he's
this noise
telling
on there?
everybody, get out your cell phones, get out your cameras.
Check that air
if
thing.
you're gonna be
over
doing
there. Maybe it's that.
It's the air.
You think so?
And take
I hear
notes
what
and
you're
call
saying.
people out in public. And that's what these people were doing. I don't think it was that, because I'm still crackling.
No, I'm
But anyway,
crackling
go
too.
ahead.
Or crackling. Crackling rose, dude. All right, here's where we're going now. That was for our listeners and viewers, 27 minutes. 27 minutes after 3 o'clock on the middle of the week, on Wednesday, the 11th of December. Thank you for tuning in. We ask you to donate securely. Help us at the end of the year. We need to get into 2014. Looking a little tough right now, but that's the way this business works. We're on WNN 1470 on the AM 50,000 watt side. And we also put this television show together each and every day, broadcast worldwide on the intranet, the interweb, the internet, the interweave, all of that. We're on Twitter, and we're going to be doing more and more of that if we stay alive. We'll be doing all those sort of things. You can watch us on teapartycommunity.com, on theunitedwest.org. And where can they get all our previous, I want to say old, previous shows, 600
Previously
hours.
cherished
Previous
shows.
shows, yes.
Stuff you should download and carry around with you on your
Well,
iPads.
you can go to visit the archives at youtube.com/theunitedwest.
Okay,
And you can see what you've missed.
okay, you can do that. We got a lot to do, but
There's
I
a
want
lot
to
of
show
other
you.
good videos on there.
Let's skip
also.
Festivus and get to the good stuff.
Yeah, I got something I want to show you guys, and it's a spillover from yesterday, because and our big idea today is that the Democrats are self-destructing, they are crashing and burning, and President Obama is leading the way. And as I said, we're going to show you some of these adventures President Obama was in recently at Nelson Mandela's funeral. A couple of other items regarding him. But first, we're going to spill over from the economic discussion yesterday on quantitative easing and card counting. What show ever had in the same hour quantitative easing and blackjack card counting? We
That's
brought
right.
that to you. I think you can put that fan thing back on, because that was
Okay.
not the
Yeah.
problem. And it's hot in this
In
air
this studio.
conditioner.
Ooh, it's cool now.
It feels so good. I could have a fly.
Okay.
Do you know what? I have to respond a little bit to what you're saying on this whole notion of Democrats crashing and burning.
Yes.
And it's true, yes, that they are, but the way things are rigged, that doesn't mean that it's a shoo-in for anything better to come in and make a positive change. So just because you think that the president's in the tank and the Democrats are crashing and burning, that doesn't mean that it's a done deal, that Republicans and conservatives are going to magically sweep in by themselves and turn everything around, because it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
Remember how cocky everybody was before the election of 2012, okay?
This is how this administration is. You think they're dead like the horror movies? And then
And they
spring back to life. you
Yeah.
know?
Let's lull them into a false sense of security.
Of course. But here's what we're going to do. I want to show the audience right now, the listeners and viewers, the philosophical foundation of President Obama's political theory, which is now becoming public policy, and the encroaching acceptance of this political theory, which is becoming political policy, that when left unfettered or when allowed to integrate into a free and open society, the consequences, the ramifications of what I'm going to show you right now are culturally fatal. Culturally fatal. All right, that's where we're going, and I'm seeing improvement with that. First of all, let's start with one of our cool graphics, okay? Our high-tech graphic department put this together. For the sake of this very brief overview, economic study of labor versus money, let's say we have 10 people. Each of the 10 people makes $100. Class, how many total dollars do 10 people make if each person makes $100?
$1,000.
All right, okay, $1,000. Let's say, class, that one of those 10 people decides not to work anymore, but your political theory is from those who, the ability of those who have to the need of those who need. What's it go from, what's that little?
Each according to his ability.
To each according to his need. From each according to his ability, to each according to his need.
And
That's,
that would be Engels and Marx, right?
yes. This is a doctrinaire Marxist, doctrinaire socialist policy that if we have the capability, then we should give it to our fellow man. There's a whole worldview that goes with this. But let's just do the math. One guy says, I don't feel like doing that. I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You got 9 people now at $100 apiece. What's the total amount of money?
$900, Tom.
Okay. And if you divide 10 into $900, how much does each person now get per work unit?
$90, Tom.
$90.
90.
So did they go up or down then from when everybody was working?
They went down $10, Tom.
Okay. And everybody had their own $100, and everybody did with their $100 whatever they want to. But when one guy drops off the team, and the money has to be split, now
You're saying that the 10th guy still gets his money even though he's not
he
working.
gets his money, sure,
Well, wait a
according to
minute.
his need.
Who gets the cut for redistributing the 90 to everybody else?
Okay,
Doesn't
hang
that
on,
come
we'll
off
get
the
there.
top too?
Now let's say 5 people decide to, they look at the first guy who dropped off and said, he's making $90, doing nothing. I'm going to do that. And pretty soon we have 5 people who drop out of off the team of work, the labor force. And now we got 5 people making $100. How much is that total?
$500, Tom.
Okay, and if we divide $500 by 10 people, how much does each person get?
$50, Tom.
And
50.
what percentage is the 50 of how they originally started at $100?
That too would be 50, Tom. 50%.
So now, these 5 guys here with the X's, they're hanging out. They're making $50 doing what?
Fishing.
Fishing, okay. And these guys over here are making $50 doing what?
Bustin' hump, Tom. Bustin' hump.
Okay.
Bustin' hump,
Now,
yes.
at what point, hang on to my at what point.
At what
Now let's
point?
Let's go to this one. You got one person making $100. You got
Yes.
9 people fishing.
Right.
And if you divide 10 into 100, how much does everybody get?
$10, Tom. 10.
What happens in a society that has one person basically providing for everybody?
It goes.
Eat a lot of fish, Tom.
He better be a fisherman. He better have a really big boat.
Wait a minute, the waters
last
are
slide.
overfished and regulated. You're not allowed to fish anymore.
Here's the magic slide, the magic graphic. In President Obama and the Democrats' political philosophy of transferring wealth, transferring money,
Right.
they're trying to reach this equilibrium of not pissing off everybody in, all the workforce,
Right.
but have enough redistribution so they can tell these 9 guys right here who really don't have to work anymore like they used to have to work, they can tell them that the reason why you're getting the benefit you're getting is because of what?
Because we're giving it to you.
We're giving it to you.
We're giving it. Yep.
And if you keep doing what, we'll keep giving it to you.
And if you keep doing nothing,
Voting for us.
If you keep doing nothing except for vote for us and keep us in power, then we'll keep giving it.
And there it is, folks, in a couple little pieces of paper, the political philosophy of the Democrats, and they're on this seesaw trying to feel out the country. At what point will the workforce say, screw this, and start fighting back, and where can they get enough votes to tip it so that the workforce no longer matters? That's the situation.
I think they get those. I think they find those votes south of the border, coming north,
Right.
and invite everybody who isn't an American into the country to tip the scales in their favor.
And to bring the quantitative easing back into yesterday's, okay, to bring the quantitative easing back in, what we're doing is by having, let's say we're at the point right now where 5 people instead of the 10 are working, and so what Tom just showed, that would be $500 of work produced. What we're doing by the quantitative easing is the Fed is just printing another $500 and still giving each worker $100. But that $100 only has the value of $50. That's the quantitative easing. They're telling you you're still getting $100, but there's twice as many dollars out there. So the value of each one of your dollars is only half.
And what happens?
Somewhere it's got to explode.
Exactly.
And what happens is
Democrat policies.
You start to see goods and services go up because there's still a hard cost of actually making those products. So now bread, instead of $1 per loaf, is now $1.50.
Food goes up? Yes.
$2 goes. Now it's $2.
Yes, the little cartoon.
So if you print the double amount of money out, hypothetically, if you print double amount of money out there, bread's not going to stay at $1. It's going to go to $2 to make up for it.
Unless there's twice as much bread,
But
which there's
not.
It's the same amount of bread with twice as many dollars floating around.
And so the price gets double because the value of the money has halved.
And we spoke yesterday about, and Alan Schlesinger told us that Greece and some of the EU, some of the European Union folks, some of those people are experiencing what we're talking about, and it's inevitable to come here. Look at Detroit. We were in Detroit a couple of weeks ago, and Detroit is the largest city ever in the history of America to file for bankruptcy. It's a bombed-out city, and it's been run by Democrats primarily for 50 years. Why can't we look at Detroit and say, there's the definitive political philosophy, implement it in a public policy manner in a major city that used to be one of the foremost cities on the face of the earth 50 years ago?
Because they won't even admit to it in terms of Detroit, let alone applying it.
They're victims. It's not that
to anything else. They're victims. It's racism that caused Detroit to fail.
Everything's racism.
Yeah.
Obama taking a selfie is racist.
Oh yeah, that's racist now.
All right, but now, folks, as we get into more Obama stuff, and our big idea for today is the Democrats are crashing and burning with Obama at the lead. But the caveat, the warning is, doesn't mean these guys are down and out. They're slick, they cheat, they steal, they lie, they'll do whatever to stay in power.
That's right.
And sadly, we have people that are becoming useful idiots, sadly, like Paul Ryan.
Right.
Who
Gosh.
who now says,
kidding
yeah,
me?
I know. The
Murray is my friend.
the conservatives, to get everybody up to speed at 40 minutes after 3 o'clock, the conservatives for the past few months with shutting down the government and all that, did those sort of things led by Cruz and Marco Rubio on this economic issue.
Right.
Said, okay, we're gonna compromise a little bit, but in January we're holding to our guns and we're gonna start cutting the federal budget the way we need to. And yesterday, Paul Ryan reaches agreement with that congresswoman from New York, I believe, Mulvaney, whatever. So no, this is a pretty good deal, and it's not a deal. It's a compromise that falls back, favoring the Democrat principles of transferring wealth and not cutting spending. And why are we so concerned about this? We're Americans, first of all, but national security for our country internally, externally, is directly contingent upon the strength of our economy, which is why Osama bin Laden hit the World Trade Center.
Not to mention a nice daily life that we used to
Just a
have in this
regular life,
country
yeah, exactly.
that we're not going to have anymore. And the whole government takeover of the healthcare system that people are just now starting to wake up to realize what that's about, that is the hugest component of redistributing everything in this economy.
See the way this is coming together, folks? Can you see the way this is coming together when this individual who's the president said, I will transform America? I think he meant that.
Oh, absolutely. And those of us who took him at his word, really, really cringed.
And we're still cringing.
Yeah.
Now,
actually, we're bracing ourselves.
what I'd like to do right now is, we did Susan over there, was my little pen. We got to go to the blonde chick. I mean, she's really...
You guys are so hot for this story.
The blonde chick, yeah.
Because
we like that.
this isn't the first time they've been together. This is like the fifth time, third or fourth or fifth time.
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
They have been together in different parts of the country.
Oh, really?
And there's pictures coming out now, holding each other and all of this sort of stuff.
Uh-huh.
So
Photographs all
you
over the
think there's
place.
something there?
with him
Yeah,
and
they're
her.
just trying to make him look manly, that's all.
Well, there is the
Because I don't think he's interested in women or blondes or men even.
Well,
I think he's asexual.
I think so. You hear stuff that he's a homosexual, and I don't see that.
I think he's just in love with himself.
Yeah, and the asexual thing, which is not interested in self, interested in self-aggrandization, aggrandizement. But he is a man, and he may have,
There's a series
he may
of-
not have low T at this point. Because there's a little something going on.
John F. Kennedy, he had a lot of fear. So, to be in that league of John F. Kennedy, he has
rubs off.
Yeah,
I don't really like women, but I have to live up to Camelot.
And I'm sitting at that famous desk that rubs off from President Clinton.
Stop it with the rubbing off.
So
right.
So in any event, here, and everybody knows this story by now, and we're putting it into context of the economy. How about that?
Okay. There you go. Oh, you want to show the pictures now? Here you go.
The situation is Nelson Mandela's funeral yesterday. Now the left is saying it wasn't a funeral yesterday. The funeral's today. It was a celebration yesterday, so everybody can be joyful.
So everybody could be.
Right. All right. Well, you want to go through the pictures?
Well, we're at the big stadium, and some photographer took pictures, and that guy, somebody got to him because about an hour before we came on the air,
right,
he put out a press release saying, the pictures I took caught 1 second of a time frame, and in that time frame, that 1 second does not properly tell the story.
Actually, it does.
The time frame, but they got to that guy.
Actually,
you want your
does.
job, you better fix this,
Actually,
buddy.
it does.
The New
Yes,
York
no,
Post,
no
all the
problem.
major papers around the world
It tells the whole
are
story.
nailing Obama on this. Let's take a look at the pictures. I want you, I want our team
They're actually
here.
a little bit better on this one, so I'll do them from here, Damon. Here's the first picture, which is him talking with the.
Let me set
Go
it
ahead.
up. We got, for you folks driving, we have a picture of about 8 people. And it's if you watch football games and see the box seats sometimes, it looks like it's at a stadium.
Yeah.
So it's the box seats at a stadium. Got a couple of very professional-looking Africans sitting in the front, black guys looking at the program. Got a.
What are you calling? Talk about Michelle and the Africans. Oh, the Africans in front.
The African guys
okay,
there,
okay.
yeah. And then a couple
didn't know.
of guys in business suits. Everybody's in blue, looking, at the events that are taking place. It's really an interesting picture because it's blacked out in the back because of the flash. Probably it was a bad,
right.
bad weather day. Right behind them, guess who's sitting right behind them in other photos?
Who?
Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice.
Oh, I saw that.
All right, now go back to the other one.
Yeah. Okay.
Valerie Jarrett and Susan Rice and Holder. 3 of them
Yep.
are there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you
Now,
can't see
what
it
did
here.
that cost to get them over there? I thought this was.
I don't
don't
mind
you
that.
send someone as a dignitary? Like,
Don't
why
you
do you
send
have to
Joe
send?
Biden?
Why do you have to send everyone in that's currently serving. I mean, all
they're
the
all
past
black.
presidents.
First of all,
all the past presidents weren't enough. It really requires all of them to go.
well, first of all, it looks like he said, all right, I need my black folks to come with us. Because you got all the folks that are black. And, if you're him and the president and Mandela.
I can see that,
there's a
for
black
whatever.
component to the thing. And they all flew on Air Force
But
One.
that's not
as
racist.
Did Bush. As did George Bush flew on Air Force One with Hillary Clinton and all of them. But let's go back to the picture because it's very, very interesting.
We got a bunch of pictures.
You got a bunch of pictures.
Yeah. And this picture, I'll describe what the president is doing. You describe with Madam, what's her name? We need the Danish prime.
Thoring-Schmidt.
All right.
What's her name?
Helle Thorning-Schmidt,
Okay. You describe that.
Danish prime minister.
Who wants to be Michelle?
Me.
You guys. Okay, you can be Michelle. And this children listen to our show and watch our show.
Right.
Oh.
Keep that.
Yeah.
All right, I think the way we need to do this is we need to recreate the photo. So,
Okay, come back to you.
yeah, look, go back there. CJ, you're going to play the blondes part. You need something in your hand.
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
And I'm going to be the
Can't
president.
move.
All right, come on. You went to acting 101. Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Here we go. Come back to me.
Yeah,
Now,
okay.
Come back to us.
Okay. There you
How's
go. That's pretty good. That's
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now,
That's
Barack
pretty good.
is absolutely involved in looking and talking with this woman.
He's enamored.
Hold on.
They are in a laugh right now. 'cause
Hold
they're-
on. I'll be the third person here.
No. That's him. He's
No,
doing-
I'll do the
Oh, you're
face.
gonna do the face. But hold on. Before we get to the face, let me set this up. When when you laugh, you're close like this, and you laugh and you go back like this. The camera caught them in this position laughing.
Oh, go ahead. Try it again.
Okay, they were like this. Then it's right there. Catch it.
Yeah.
Okay, go back to the picture. To Obama. Say they're back like that. So what does this mean? They're engaged. They're having fun. They're hooked up.
They are hooked up.
Now,
Yes.
what do you, from a woman's point of view? What is the Madame Trousseau there, whatever her name is?
Thorning-Schmidt.
Thorning-Schmidt.
What am I thinking?
What is she thinking? You're the woman. Give the audience, the
Right.
viewers and listeners, what's going through her mind.
I
right
can't
now.
imagine what she's thinking.
Right.
I can't imagine
Right.
anything that he could be saying or doing that would make me smile and laugh. So I'm
Imagine you're a
sorry.
leftist European ruler. Can you play the game?
You're acting.
You're acting.
You're acting.
Okay, well, you know what? If you wanted me to act as a director, you should have given me some instructions in the script before
Okay.
the show.
Okay,
All right.
Mark, you play the blonde.
Go back to the thing.
Go back to the thing. Okay. Here we go.
See the blonde?
Yes.
Yes.
Play the blonde and make believe you're her and what your response is to what I just said to you.
I got it.
No, not you, her.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to do this
Yes,
again?
yeah,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
I'm a director
Oh my
who has to get
gosh.
the actor to get it out.
Yeah, get it out.
We can find
The
it.
method was acting
It's
here.
in you.
Okay, I swoon before the Emperor Obama.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, I
swooned
can't
before him.
believe I am sitting next to this demigod.
How about this? That's good. You're on a roll. How
You're
about I run such a little country and you have such a big country? How about that?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, they
Can
really.
we go play in Legoland now?
My, how big your constituency
She
is.
is.
It's got to be that sort of.
And I got Michelle's response over there.
No, that's it.
Wait a
No,
minute,
I
here's-
actually have the best response.
I don't see her
Hey,
husband.
Barack's in the Schmidt house right about now with Michelle.
Is that her name?
Yes.
What's her name?
Schmidt. Their last name's
Oh,
Schmidt.
that's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Thorning-Schmidt.
That is pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Barack's in the Schmidt
That's
house.
what the
He
New
doesn't
York
even
Post
know
should
it.
have had. New York Post should have had
Brock's
Brock's
in-
in the Schmidt house. We're doing our thing on that. All right, now back to the picture.
Go back to the picture.
That's not even the
By
bad
the
one.
way-
That's not
by
even
the
the
way,
bad
I have the
picture. We spend
picture
way
up.
too much time on this
I
picture.
know. Let's have Damon.
She's sandwiched between Obama and Cameron.
Yeah. That's next.
That's the
Damon.
selfie.
But Obama, Michelle's.
Thanks for
picture right
playing.
now. Michelle's picture right now. What is Michelle thinking or saying?
Right. Which one are we going to? This one where they're leaning over and talking to each other? Is it, you want to go to that one?
I don't see
Oh,
it.
you had yours up.
Which one does Damon want?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, put that one.
Go to that one.
Well, that's the one with him talking over there and Michelle giving the glaring look over the shoulder.
Barry's just so proud of himself for flirting with this Danish leader. He's like a hog in his own
There's a better
Can't
picture.
both talk at the same time. It's hard to hear it on the radio.
I said, here's a better picture of it.
Okay. There you go. Here's what we have, folks. This picture now has, whereas, come back to me for a second, because we're going to show our folks, and I'm going to describe it to the radio. Whereas Barack was in the phase 2 of the laughing phase, phase 1, phase 2.
Yeah, now he's got his
He's
hands
now
all
moved
over
in.
me.
He's got his hand on her back, and he's looking in intensely. Go back to the picture. And someone else is looking
It's
intensely.
glaring over the shoulder.
Barry,
Barry.
I suggest you put your eyes straight on the stage and stop looking at that blonde woman right now. Barry, you're not listening to me, Barry. Barry, you wait till we get back to the hotel, Barry.
You might be president of the United States, Barry, but
I'm
Kick your ass.
I'm president of the White House.
What's the term? If looks could kill?
If looks
Yeah.
could kill.
If looks could kill, they would be having another official ceremony coming up in
And
the
here's
Netherlands.
The same.
Oh, and she's from Denmark.
Or Denmark, I'm sorry.
I
In
thought she was from
Denmark.
the Netherlands too. She's Denmark. The Netherlands is Mark Root, I think.
This is too hilarious.
I could also see.
I want to know what they're talking about. That's so funny at a memorial service.
And it wasn't just one; it's multiple shots.
There's a whole bunch of them.
Well, it's the
Why
selfie
are we
that's
doing
gone
this all
crazy.
this time on the
Now,
show?
There's the selfie there.
The hold the
I don't have
selfie.
the
Hold the selfie. The context is very important because look at the demeanor of the other people in the picture. I mean, nobody's laughing. There isn't a comedian on stage doing a comedic routine of Mandela's life, in some sort of ceremonial honoring. So this was not a fun moment. But let's say it was. You're the president of the friggin' United States of America. There's a certain decorum. And your wife's sitting right next to you, Barry, and the Viking chick on your right over there. You got to be a little careful, okay? Unbelievable. Let's see the selfie now. This thing's getting a lot of play also.
Oh, this is the best one of them all, actually. You look at this one here. Scroll up a little bit, David.
That's the selfie.
Yeah, you can pass the thing. But who's the guy off to the left? Is that Cameron?
Yeah.
David Cameron.
David Cameron.
He was just in Parliament trying to talk his way out of
Obama.
that.
And the classic thing is, why isn't Michelle over there squeezing in for the selfie? Why isn't she over there jumping in on that picture? She's just, she's totally left out to dry.
Describe the picture. What we're looking at, folks. What we're looking at, a selfie. It's a new term for those of us in the media and those of us in social networking. A selfie is this. Come back to us.
Okay.
This is Selfie Instructions 101. I'm taking a picture of CJ.
Right.
That's not a selfie.
It's not a selfie.
I know, it's comparison, okay?
Oh.
Taking a picture of CJ. Now, taking a picture of me. Look here. I'm not really.
Look at
fake. I'm taking a picture of me and CJ by
myself.
Thus,
selfie.
It just became a word in the dictionary officially last month.
I'm taking a selfie. So when individuals take
and if
pictures
you're
of
Anthony
themselves,
Weiner,
I'm taking it.
You think a selfie wiener culture?
Did you see that Uma Abedin was with? Did you see that Uma Abedin is there with the Clintons as well?
Well, so is Chelsea.
No, anyway.
Uma is there with the Clintons.
All right, so a selfie picture, folks,
Which
is
is
when
this?
teenagers take pictures of. Oh, I'm sorry. When world leaders take pictures of themselves
At funerals.
Usually at funerals.
Giggling.
Okay.
Giggling. No, not just any funeral.
But Mark had a great observation. How come Michelle isn't squeezed in?
As the fourth in the selfie pic.
She's
Because you
not
can get four
maybe
wide
she's
in
not
that
a
thing.
world leader.
I know you can get four wide in a selfie. I know you can do that. So she obviously did not want to be in this pic.
They have
Because
47 bodyguards around them. They
This
could've
is
said,
a
"Could you take
more.
picture?"
This is an important event for her. This is part of her black identity. This is part of her hate whitey America kind of.
And you got 2.5 white people over there disgracing it.
That's right. That's right. And her husband cheering them on. So
Right.
she's really, really
She's pissed.
disgusted.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Her whole history, her education has been black anger, and the left is saying, you know, when you have a particular problem, crisis management, best thing to do is hit that problem head on. Use the same terms, then redefine it. They're saying now, where this is black anger, she's an angry black woman. They're
Right.
saying,
That's racist.
the right is trying to make her out to be an angry black woman.
No, she is.
And
She
we
is.
just
Her
heard
whole
right
life
before we
history
taped,
is.
we just heard they're saying that the right is trying to make her look like an angry black woman and him out to be an oversexed black male.
Yeah,
I can tell you,
was on
most people
MSNBC.
I know think he's a eunuch.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's
again,
the farthest
but-
thing from an oversexed black
Right.
male.
But in terms of crisis management, you take what people are thinking and then you redefine it, and they go, "Oh, okay, that makes
Okay.
sense," because they're not analytical.
But I love MSNBC's comments when they come back and say anybody who criticizes this is what?
Ray says,
But they just said it.
Now
on
go
the-
down. Yeah, they
Right.
said it just before we came on the air. Go down to that same link, I believe it is, and you'll see President Obama and the Viking chick from Denmark. And she looks like a Viking woman who's just,
She's very attractive.
very attractive. You'll see them all over the place together.
Keep on going down. Yeah. Wait till past. Oh, and previous pics. Yes. Yeah, they're little travel.
Okay, look at
buddies,
this one.
isn't it?
Keep going down. There's one where he's hugging and kissing her.
Go back up. Go back up for a second.
Holder, yeah.
There was Holder in the middle of all that too. We gotta show the. There's
Shoulder Holder.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is why
This
they
is the
needed to
holder.
bring in John Podesta right here.
Yep.
Yeah,
this
there's
one right
there's
here, right?
there's
Hold
the
on.
Holder in the middle of all this.
There's
He-
Holder.
yeah,
Now
okay.
she's they're trying to show that, she's friendly with
Right.
Michelle. But if you watch the video of this,
Right.
as soon as Michelle turns around, Michelle's face goes from smiling like this to.
Oh, I'm gonna kill you.
But scroll down.
But then I scroll down to the one where he's kissing her hand.
Well, you're kissing her face.
I
What are
already
you talking-
did.
No,
Sorry.
Obama's kissing his wife's hand.
No, but look at the one he's kissing the chick's.
But his wife's hand is everything's okay
Yeah.
here. Okay. Now look at this. He's kissing the blonde chick.
I
That's
think
pretty
he's
close.
trying to convince her of something.
That's pretty close to the lip region, I'd say.
Yeah, I know. But that's okay. That could be.
What's
okay.
Reggie Love gonna say?
That's a beautiful picture there. What we're
Reggie
showing
Love
folks
might get
is
jealous.
the president kissing the prime minister of Denmark, and the president's in the Schmidt house on this one. Now go down to where they're at like the G5 or something together.
That's
Is that
the White
G-
House.
is
Did
that
you
the
get
White
that?
House?
They're
Here's
in
the
the
White
White
House.
There's the White House.
Now look at the next one below that.
All right. You
Look
going
at
down.
look at this. Now let's caption that picture right there. What we have, folks, we have Barack Obama at the Chicago NATO summit, and Obama cracks a smile, mingling with Danish Prime Minister Schmidt at the 2012 NATO. This is a year ago summit in Chicago. Remember? I don't know who the other schmuck is there on the left, but look at her. Now go back to this picture, and she's saying, "This guy is running the biggest country in the world. I got to get a piece of that."
Right.
At least Disney tickets for
Disney
the rest
World
of
or
my
something,
life, something. But look at it, and we all know the cameras can catch a unique moment. Anything else?
Oh,
No,
So-
it's just the whole thing about it is it's just this
He
guy's just
behaves
he behaves
Inappropriately at all in
times.
every single
At
situation.
all times.
Benghazi, not optimal. Give return the bust of Churchill to Britain. Give the Queen an iPad. Make a joke when Navy SEAls are killed.
He's pathetic.
That's it.
You know,
All right, we got 30 seconds.
He's wrong.
At least-
He's
We're gonna
wrong.
continue.
even.
Hang on,
At least-
everybody hang on. We're going to continue this tomorrow, but this
Well,
is important.
Okay.
Do you have the two headlines for the two papers? I'll just read them. The Time magazine came out today with the ratings and said, "No love for Obama as approval
There you go.
ratings hit record low in new poll." Okay?
Right,
Time
yeah.
magazine, right there. No love for Obama's approval ratings hit record low in new poll. Now, what does the LA Times have? Read the headline for the LA Times.
And the LA Times says Obama's approval ratings stabilize in latest poll produced by us in the coffee room at the LA Times.
Right. So,
7 out of 10 employees gave him the thumbs up.
one poll says tanked, the other says stabilized.
We do have a time limit.
We gotta go. See you later. It's been a blast.